Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds out his mom's dog almost died due to his girlfriend's affair. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. My girlfriend 25 and I 23 have been together for a while. Our relationship has been filled with ups and downs. Sometimes more downs than ups, but we always find our way back to each other. A while back, we split up and it seemed like the relationship was done for good. During that time, she started going out with someone else. I found out about the relationship online, and while I had my qualms about her moving on so fast, just a matter of days, I accepted the fact and tried to move on. A month later, we got back together. There was nothing particular that spurred us to getting back together, aside from the fact that we seemed to make sense and had missed each other. We reconciled, talked over the relationship, and agreed about how we were moving forward. Just to clear the air, I also asked for us to talk about the 1 month we were apart. She said that her relationship had not been serious at all. It was more to fill the void of having someone by her side, but both of them had barely been vested in it. I also told her about my 1 month, the dates I had gone on and stuff like that. None of it had been serious for me either, and there wasn't much on my end to get into. With that out of the way, we rekindle our romance. Dates, late-night calls, lovey-dovey texts throughout the day, and the whole thing. It seemed like this time round, our relationship would last. We avoided all the mistakes of the past and genuinely seemed to be having fun hanging out together. By then, 2 weeks in, I found out that she had slept with the guy she had gone out with during our break. I had gone over to her place and found a guy's sock that clearly wasn't mine. So I pieced it together and guessed that it must have been his. While it wasn't exactly an issue, we were on a break after all and both didn't think we would be getting back together. We had come clean to determine if we were to move this relationship forward, and she had neglected to mention that their relationship had actually been serious to the point of getting physical. I confronted her about it, and at first she deflected, saying that it was probably my sock and I had just forgotten. But I insisted that it wasn't mine and she either came clean about it or we would just put an end to the relationship. Pushed into a corner, she finally told the truth. She claimed that it had only happened once and she didn't want to make a big deal of it. She also hadn't wanted to tell me about it because she was scared of my reaction, especially when the whole thing hadn't really meant that much. She vowed that it was over and begged for a second chance. I bought into everything she said, forgave that indiscretion, and moved on with the relationship. One day, my mom came by my place. She dropped her dog for me to dog sit since she was going to be away for a while, and I had assured her that I could do it. I've been around her dog often, so it wouldn't be that much of a change for him. I got everything in place for the dog. It's practically another child to my mother and kept it around. My girlfriend has keys to my place to crash whenever she feels like it. And it also helped to have at least someone else drop by and check in on the dog while I was away. A few days into my dog sitting, I got home and the dog was suddenly unwell. No tail wagging, no energy. It could barely sip water and kept having a choking cough. I asked my girlfriend about it and she claimed that she found the dog like that. The situation was worrisome, so I took the dog to the vet. The vet told me that there was something lodged in the dog's system. They made him puke it out, and lo and behold, it was the damn sock. I looked at my girlfriend right across the table and deadpanned, "You said it was over." Clearly she had lied about that, and I didn't want to listen to any more of her excuses, so I called it a day on the relationship right there and then. My girlfriend made a scene. She refused to leave the vet's office and tried to keep me from leaving as well. She argued that she just needed closure because our relationship had restarted abruptly, and he had apparently asked for one final time with her. She hadn't wanted to give in, but he was persistent, and she figured that one last time to finally get rid of him wouldn't hurt. Then she insisted that this time around, that was it. I was done believing that story. I got my mother's dog and left without her. Update. My ex took to blowing up my phone, sending messages asking for me to reconsider. She gave petty lines like, "We're made for each other," and "We always find our way back together." For my peace of mind, I blocked her. It was clear from the messages that she was just getting crazier. She even made her way to my mom's place and just went off on her. She accused my mom of setting a trap for her with the dog, and other things that hardly made any sense. She insisted my mom should talk to me so that we could get back together, or she would make our lives miserable. My mom just called the cops on her. Having the authorities intervene sobered her up a little, and we haven't heard from her in a while. I just can't believe that she almost killed my mom's dog over a booty call. I'm so glad to be done with her drama. You gave her a lot of chances, OP, way more than most people would, and yet she still managed to ruin what she had with you. Her dating someone else a few days after you two ended things for the first time was a red flag. Then her lying and trying to deflect when you confronted her about being physical with him was another red flag. Thank goodness your mom's dog is fine. The poor dog had to suffer because she couldn't help herself. She doesn't deserve any more chances from you. I hope you never have anything to do with her ever again. Story 2. I'm a 34-year-old guy married for the past 8 years and have 2 kids, 7 years old and a 1-year-old. And I just found out that my wife cheated on me. I started suspecting her a year now after the birth of our daughter. She started wanting to go out and live her life. She's been doing that while pregnant, and couldn't even wait to jump at it again, no matter how I gave her my full trust and freedom of choice. She started asking to go to her girlfriend as a visit in Greece. I got her all the papers and everything, but she didn't get the visa and blamed me for it. During this time, she already supposedly went to another country with her girlfriends. I found out later otherwise. This is the beginning of my gut flipping all over and alarms ringing for something wrong. Last month, we went with our son to another country. I started noticing things that are not normal and started digging around. During the trip, she would lose our son because she's texting on her phone. What I found out when I dug around is the following. 1. The first trip to country A was with a guy, not any girls. 2. They went on a second trip where he helped procure a visa for Hungary. 3. They went on another trip at the beginning of the year to Dubai that she told me is a bargain trip and that the hotel's all paid for by someone at her work, and all she has to pay is the ticket. I believed her. 4. She went to London on a supposed job training and was with him again. 5. I found notes that indicate he dumped her and she was trying to get him back. 6. 2 months ago she was very depressed and that's when I think they broke up. 7. I found texts between her and her best friend about him and that she used me as a teasing point to piss him off once. 8. I found fake accounts later that she is controlling to get info about him. 9. I found his Facebook connection on her phone. 10. During all this year, not one photo was shared by her for any trip. 11. She changed all her passwords. I know even her phone's lock codes, even though I never bothered to look at them. You will ask, how did I get all this info? I'm a technical guy, so I know my way around the tech. So I hacked his account and found photos of him at the same time and places she has been. I hacked her account and found that all the check-ins on his profile matched the time she was traveling. I found a photo that she used to make us believe she was with a girl on the first trip, and then found photos of him during the same trip with the same lady in the same outfit. She claims she was with their sister and their family, but I suspect that she doesn't even know the sister at all. When I faced her with all these details, she denied first talking to him. Sorry, I forget to mention a flirting message from him to her that I caught by mistake. She kept denying it, and when I pressured her with pieces of evidence, she confessed to talking to him, but kept defiant to the whole idea of infidelity. Then I pressed more with her phone, and the notes I found inside she confessed talking to him after a big scene. But nothing more happened between them, which I cannot believe. Her girlfriends are from the bad type and are all immersed in cheating on their husbands. She used to go out till midnight up to 2 a.m. and claim she was with them, and I was stupid enough to believe that. She swore that she would stop talking to him about our kids' lives, but I can't trust her anymore. She swore before that there's nothing between her and any other man. Even after all the evidence, she still denies having an affair with him, even though she swore on our innocent kids. I have no one to speak to of this. I told her father about the situation gradually because he has a heart condition, and I love him as my own and don't want him to be affected. To this day, she denies it. And due to work-related travel, she had to go to Italy, but this time I made sure it is work-related. She extended a few days, and I think she's expecting him to follow her. My current situation is very bad. I don't eat, I drink every night, and I cannot look at her. I told her that I forgive her but will not forget. But she's still not making an effort to fix things. On the contrary, she's trying to make things go back to normal as if nothing has happened. I don't want to break the marriage because of the kids, and that I don't want her father to have a heart attack. I don't know what to do. I need closure. Divorce is hard technically as well as due to the area we live in. She's trying to show me she loves me, but I don't believe her. I thought of a revenge affair but can't do it because I know it's wrong. I'm lost. I wish I could cry, but the tears are not coming. I'm tracing all her online movements and found out that she is still trying to hide things from me. She changed her email password again, not knowing that I know. And even the Emmer Effer's FB page is deleted. Everything's being erased by her to make sure I find nothing anymore. She doesn't know I have everything under surveillance. This is my story, and I don't know what to do or believe. Did she have a physical relationship with him? I believe yes, even when she swore by our kids' lives. I'm tearing apart, trying to remain strong. Should I get a divorce, or should I try to work it out? She's far away, and I don't believe anything she says. I lost over 7 kg, and I was already skinny. I don't eat, can't think of anything else, and am suspecting everything. I cannot work or do anything. Update. So here's the latest update on things. She promised me on her final trip to come clean and open everything for me to see. Less going out and to be honest and transparent. And during the whole time away, she kept calling me constantly and telling me sweet words. And everything someone needs to hear. She came back home and, as if nothing was said, I found a note scraped on her notepad. After deciphering it, I found out it was a letter to OM saying that this is the first time in her life she's going to talk to him, and put her dignity aside. When I faced her, she claimed it was for me, but she didn't feel like finishing it. Of course, it was a big fat lie as usual. We had another huge fight again, and then cooled down. From then it was a roller coaster ride. She wanted to go out again. She started at first telling me with whom and not where. Then she stopped telling me with whom. After one time after an outing, she made a huge fight about why I checked her friend's Snapchat story, and took a screenshot of their picture with her and insulted. I couldn't take it anymore. I started shouting on the phone, and once I got home I called her father to come over and check his daughter's behavior. In my country, the parents have the ultimate sway over their kids no matter if they're married adults. If we get a divorce, she'll go back to living with them, not separately. She swore that there was nothing between her and anyone and promised to behave. Didn't last one day. The next day, she went out with her friend, who I found out had the direct effect of introducing her to OM. I played it cool. She came back and hugged me afterward. She kept going out again and not caring what I feel, or the promises that she didn't keep off. Long story short, 2 days ago she started at it again. I blew up like a volcano and said the harshest words she could hear. I wanted to make her feel the pain I have. We stayed at it for 2 days. Before yesterday, we went to her parents for her sister's birthday, and we fought on the way again. She kept insulting me, and I returned the favor. And she kept threatening suicide, which was all just for the bull. She was afraid of what I'm going to do in front of her family when we arrived. I kept it civil and didn't do a thing, and agreed with her that during the drive home, she will speak of everything. She did that. Yesterday, I went out with a business friend, guys hangout, and she stayed at home alone. I put a movie for her so that she doesn't get bored and everything before I left. Today, she started one of the biggest fights and insults I received. I ignored her, and that made her more frustrated. She's using this method to secure going out later in the day. I know this trend by now. I kept quiet all the time she talked and ignored her till now, all her texts and everything. She just wants to switch the guilt on me to feel better, as she's feeling powerless at the moment. I don't know what I'll do when I see her later after work. I'm very tired, and apparently there's a huge part about OM that she wants to stay hidden, and she's sensing that I'm gaining more truth every day. Already started divorce proceedings. Any advice? Your wife is never going to change, OP. I'm sorry your marriage has to end this way. There's no saving the marriage, and you should let go of any hope that you have about her changing. Even if she does change, I believe you deserve better than someone who continues to lie and betray your vows that way. I hope the divorce proceedings go well, OP.